Hi everyone, I'm going to run through the instructions for Module 9, Excel. Open up 9-Organic Produce Sales. And I'm starting with the instructions in the textbook. On page 231, they have a description of different types of chart styles that are available in Excel. And then they have a description and an example. The most common are the column, comparing the value across categories over time, the line chart showing trends by category over time, and also the pie chart showing the relationship of parts of the whole. So the first exercise we're going to do is organic produce sales. So I'm on page 232, and they want you to select the range that will be involved in the chart. So start in A3 where it says store, hold and drag all the way to D7. Notice you do not take row 8 or column E. You usually don't include totals in a clustered column chart because, of course, the total column charts will be, the bars will be the largest, so you stay away from totals. You'll choose Insert tab, select Recommended Charts, and the book says to select the second one, which is called a stacked column, and there's the preview of what it looks like. And underneath it gives you a little description of when you would use a stacked column. So then we'll go ahead and click OK. And there we have it on right on our worksheet. And then they're going to decide to change their mind. They don't want the stacked column. So up on you have a new tab up the top. It's called Chart Tools, Design, and Format. This Chart Tools tab will only show if the actual chart is selected. So I select outside of the chart, that tab goes away. So I have to reselect the chart and I have my tabs back. Chart Tools, Design, and Format. So we're going to choose Change Chart Type, and we're going to select Line Chart and then click OK. So now we have a line chart. And then they decide they'll change their mind one more time. So we'll choose Insert, and we'll go back to, we started with recommended charts. We did the change chart type. Now we're going back to what's called Insert Column or Bar Chart, and we're going to choose the very first one, which is a 2D clustered column. So we've changed our mind a couple of times. Alright, so the next thing that we'll do is we'll actually move our chart. In order to move the chart, make sure you're in an empty white space, and you'll notice that the mouse changes to the 4 arrows. So you can hold and drag, and we'll go under A9, and then it wants you to go to the diagonal corner and increase it to H25 and let go. The next thing they want us to do, right now there's a legend showing at the bottom, and it indicates that the blue is January, orange is February, and gray is March. Right now it's at the bottom. If you actually click the chart, you'll get a little plus sign, and that's chart elements. And then you get a couple of categories. The ones that are checked off are the ones that are actually visible right now. If I were to uncheck axes, you'll notice that the numbers over here on the vertical axis will disappear. So that you definitely want axes. The chart title is also visible. Grid lines, these are grid lines in the background area. The legend is where you want to go to. If I uncheck it, it takes it off. I want it, but I'm going to go to the More arrow and choose the top versus the bottom. So now it's underneath the title. So right now, it's indicated the stores, Oakland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Diego. But because this is about Q1, it really should be about the months. And then the stores would be the legend. So if you want to change the categories, you just click the Chart Tools Design tab and just click Switch Row or Column. And now the columns are the months, and the stores are the legend. So the blue is now Oakland versus blue being January. So all you have to do is click Switch Row or Column. So now it's by the months. We're going to go to Quick Layout Change. And if you hover over each one, it just changes maybe the bar types. It may have also data labels. Some have the chart titles, some have the axes titles. They all change slightly different. And we're going to hover over to quick layout number 9. And then we're going to click chart title. Now I didn't double click, I just clicked it once. So when I start typing, it actually appears in the formula bar. So don't worry that it's not appearing where the chart title is indicated. So I'll go ahead and type the name of this one. And as soon as I press enter, it'll replace chart title. And then I'll do the same thing for the axes title. Just click it once. You don't want to double click it so that it's selected in it. And then we'll type sales. And as soon as I press enter, it'll replace the vertical axis. And I'll do the same thing for the horizontal axis. And this one is month. And then press enter. And then if we wanted to change the chart style, so stay with the clustered column but choose a different style, you can also click this little paintbrush here, and we're going to select the second one. And what that does is it gives us data labels, which are the values for each of those column bars. We're going to continue on. If you click the plus sign, which is chart elements, we are going to uncheck data labels, and that'll take the values off of each bar. So if you check it, they're there. If you uncheck it, it takes it out. You notice you have the axes. We want to, this particular chart style does not have it, but we'll leave that there for now. So now we'll go so in the chart elements, if you hover over to the axes arrow, which means more options, go ahead and choose a primary vertical so we get the numbers back. That particular style didn't have the vertical values, but you can actually put them in. Then we'll hover down to grid lines and to the arrow for more options, and we'll choose primary, major, horizontal, because we already have the vertical. And then in the background you can see the horizontal. So we had the vertical, and now we have the horizontal. If you chose primary, minor, those are smaller lines between both horizontal and vertical. I'll click it just to show you. So this would be the minor, so there's more lines in between. If I had the vertical, there's more lines going down. But we'll just do the major and minor, major horizontal and major vertical. And then go ahead and choose data table. And underneath the actual column chart, they have the table actually matches the data above it. And we'll take that off so it's not showing. So now, if to turn this chart element box, just re-click the plus sign and it goes away. So sales is reading down, up. And if you'd like to change it so that it's horizontal, if you just click it once, sales, the vertical axis title. Now right click, choose format axis title, and over on the far right you have a window pane that opened up. Choose size and properties, and then for the text direction click the down arrow and choose horizontal, and it just turns sales to the horizontal. You can change the color of the bars if you like, and change color. The book requests color style 4. The ones below it were monochromatic, which they're the same colors but different shades. But we'll stay with the colorful, color 4. Okay, with the chart still selected, we're going to choose the down arrow. We're going to actually choose the title. Select the title, and we're going to get fancy. We're going to go to Chart Tools Format, and in the Shape Styles, click the down arrow, which means more options. And the one that they want us to check, if you hover over it, it'll actually say Intense Effect Green Accent 6. And it puts a green background box around the title. And then they want to get a little fancier, so go into, with it still selected, Shape Effects, and in Shadow, you'll choose Offset Right. Offset Right, so it gives a little glow to it. and then you'll select vertical axis title sales, and then if you hover up here in your recent, it'll come up, the intense effect green, select it. Do the same thing for month. You can actually press F4, because F4 on the keyboard, the function key, is repeat, so that'll do the same thing, same as if I had clicked intense effect. So now we have the clustered column. It's based on the 3 months, and it indicates each store. So if you were to look at this real quickly, you could see that the greatest sales was in March for San Diego, and the lowest sales was Oakland in January. So bar graphs are visually easier to read than if you looked at the data with the numbers. So this is over a 3-month period. It's indicating each store. So that's a clustered column chart. The next one they want to introduce is the pie chart. And when you use a pie chart, you're usually just using categories and one total. So we're going to select Oakland to San Diego, the 4 stores, and then I want to select the totals over in column E. So because they're separate, you need to hold Control and then select the 4 totals. So you have the stores and the 4 totals. And then you'll click Insert, and we know we want a pie chart, so we'll go to Insert Pie Chart. There's the traditional 2D, but we're going to get fancy and select the 3D. And because it's getting crowded on this, we're going to actually move it to its own sheet. So you choose Move Chart, select New Sheet, and the name of this one is Q1 Organic Sales %, and then click OK. So it moves it to its own sheet, and it's indicated down at the bottom, Q1 Organic Sales %. Go ahead and click Chart Title. Again, it's not selected, and as you start typing, it'll appear in the formula bar. So it's Q1 Organic Produce Sales by store, and then in parentheses, California. Close parentheses and enter. If you had a spelling error, you could just click into the formula bar, fix your error, and then just press enter. We're going to choose a quick layout, so go ahead and click the quick layout button, and this one, again, if you hover over them, they have differences. So the first one is showing the store names and their percentage. The next one, just the store name, but it has a legend at the top. This one doesn't have very much, just a legend at the bottom. This one has the store name and the dollar amount. So they all have different versions of what you'd like to see on your pie chart. So they want you to choose layout 1. And then if you look at the each pie, it has the name and the percentage. They're pretty small in text, so if you select 1, it actually selects all 4 of them. You can go back to the Home tab and increase the size to 18. And then you could put it in bold, you could change the color, you could select anything you'd like in the font group, and that affects all of them. Excellent. If you also wanted to, for your chart title, if you wanted to do that intense effect, again, you could go into here, and here's the same one, intense effect green, accent 6, so it matches the others. If you wanted a little color in the background, if you, in the empty white space, right click and choose fill, you can actually add color to the background. I'll try to pick a color that's not used, green. So you have a green background. Excellent. All right, so let's go back to sheet 1, which is where we started, and then just we're going to click in F4. So this one is blank right now, this column, and that what they want you to do is create a trend line, which shows the trend of the 3 months, January, February, and March for each store. It does not include the total. So you're in F4, you'll click Insert, and in a group called Spark Lines, you'll actually select Line. They want the data range. You're going to select B4, C4, and D4, and it indicates here that you selected data range B4 through D4. Click OK. and you have a line of what happens from January